What is happening, Magnus? Alright, so Amandla Stenberg has put out a response to the Acolyte being canceled. I'm going to do a reaction and give commentary. Do not harass the young lady. Let's see what she has to say, though. Should be interesting.
Okay. Hello.
What's happening?
I thought I would get on here and just speak candidly. I hate doing this, but I'm gonna do it.
Well, she seems to be in a good mood, all considering.
I don't use social media very much anymore.
I wouldn't be either if I was her.
I'm so happy about that.
Actually, no, if I was her, I would be, because that's just how I am. I just, you come over running your mouth on my page, you just get blocked. That's it.
But there are many folks out there that I wanted to...
However, no, if I was her, I would just have to ignore it because of the way everything went and what they were saying was the reasons for, it just wasn't true, for whatever quote unquote bad reviews that they got or review bombing and all this stuff. It just looked, I watched it and I tried to give it a chance and it was just boring. Besides the fact that they woke it up, it was just boring. So that's it.
Acknowledge and I want to show appreciation and love and support for. So that's why I'm hopping on here to talk about this, which is that our Star Wars show has been canceled. And I'm gonna be transparent and say that it's not a huge shock for me.
That almost makes me laugh. Like, I'm sure she knew it would. I mean, look, these companies have been taking chances after chances after chances and the chances. And you know what? Here's the thing. What if her head was in the clouds? She signed on for this. She really wasn't paying attention to social media even before she shot the show. Maybe she just, because there are some people that I know that they're just not on social media like that. I get it. So what if she doesn't have a thumb on the pulse of the fandom and doesn't truly know how much they want them to stop doing this? Well, I'm sure she found out after the show premiered, and then because she put out that music video, which I analyzed, and like if you paid attention to the lyrics, you really could say she wasn't talking about the fandom with Star Wars. However, every outlet said, yeah, that's why she released it, is because the show ain't doing well and she doesn't like what she's hearing from fans. So if that is the reason why she released it, I'm sure she got online and she found out a whole lot of stuff that everybody's been thinking. And the way the show was going, I'm sure people were telling her the numbers. She might have been getting emails from Leslie Headland. Who knows? But I'm sure she checked Rotten Tomatoes and she was like, yeah, it's probably going to get canceled. So I'm sure she knew it was coming.
Of course, I live in the bubble of my own reality, but for those who aren't aware, there has been...
What did I just say? She one of them people... I'm calling it!
A rampage of vitriol that we have faced since the show was even announced, when it was still just a concept and no one had even seen it.
Because they knew, the fans knew what they were going to do to the show. So, and it's not about any racism or istophobisms. It's not about none of that, okay? The fans that are like that, they are a very small minority, and they've always been like that. Like, they come out of nowhere for anything. It doesn't matter. What I don't like is in situations like this, a lot of times companies or people, I'm not saying it's her because I don't know if she's shown, but what they'll do is they'll take a screenshot of one thing, a couple of things, that are, a couple of racists said, and then make it look like that's all the fandom. No. I could do that too. I get hate online, right? But I could take the racist ones and say it's all racism. You know what I'm saying? It's rare that I see a racist comment, but you see them every once in a while. You know what I mean?
And that's when we started experiencing a rampage of, I would say, hyper conservative bigotry and vitriol, prejudice, hatred, and hateful language towards us.
Like I said, it wasn't that. We all know it wasn't that. So,
And, this really affected me when I first got the job, because it's just not something, even though I anticipated it happening, it's not something you can fully understand what it feels like.
And especially if she truly is in a bubble, she could have only got what they fed her. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, yeah, don't worry about it. We're getting comments like this, but just press forward. It's a great show. It's a good cause. Sometimes people just take what they're fed, what their team gives them, the emails, the screenshots, the stuff that their team gives them. So let me tell you something. This goes out to every actor out there, period. You need to understand your market. You need to understand what you're doing. I know a lot of you just want a part. You want to keep working. You need the money. I get it. I know how hard it is. But I specifically told my agent, because they're wokeifying everything out there, they woken everything up. Don't send me any more. If you get auditions and it's for any shows that are woken out, don't send them to me. Any movies that don't send them to me. And I ain't heard from the person in almost a year. That's how much they're still doing the stuff like this. So, yeah, and I'm fine. I'll just keep doing YouTube. And when this woke wave dies down and recedes way back out to sea and never comes back, I'll start doing, I was gonna say interviews, auditions again. However, what I'm basically saying is, it's just like anything else. You need to know your market. You need to understand your market. And if you understood your market in entertainment, like specifically, say you were trading stocks, you're not going to buy Disney. You're not going to buy Disney with what they were doing. That's understanding your market, understanding how the whole business works, what's going on with fans, the clients, the consumers, what is going on. It's different points that you all need to come together and need to make that decision. There's no way as an actor I would have signed up for any of this stuff, even if I was broke and struggling. Nope, because it goes against my principalities, Smokey.
Until it's happening to you?
My principalities are giving the people what they want and making great stuff. And that's what they not been doing.
However, I feel like I've kind of moved through those feelings in various ways, including being vocal about it myself. For me, it just became a situation where there was no option but for me to honor my sense of ethics and my belief system and my value system while being in this very unique position. It was kind of like I
really ain't unique. They doing it all over the place.
I had this very unique experience of experiencing the world at large, which is, of course, hyper divisive right now,
That's
through
true.
the lens of this very, very unique opportunity of being in Star Wars. And it brought up a lot for me, socio-political dynamics, a lot about my own value system, how I respond to that kind of hatred, how I move through the world at large. And it just became inarguable for me at a certain point that in order to continue to be myself, I would have to honor my value system by being vocal, even within the context of working for Disney and working within the large, massive IP that is Star Wars.
Cat was like, nah. You know what I mean?
Wars. On that topic, I just have to say it has been an incredible honor and dream for me to be in this universe.
Man, let me tell you something. It ain't no honor being in something that is part of the destruction of the franchise. Like, I assume, like a lot of actors and writers that they're bringing on, that she didn't know nothing about Star Wars before she jumped on. So she just coming on. It's like, ooh, Star Wars, big franchise. Oh, this is an honor. Let me tell you something. It is not an honor, even if you think it is, to be a part of something that's destroying the IP. It's not. You may think it is, and I get that, but it is not.
It still feels, even though, of course, I'm very sad about the show being canceled, and I'm sad about us not being able to give people who are invested into it more, because you'll just feel a lot of levity and joy around the fact that I got to experience it, and that people loved it, and that people were so responsive. I poured through a lot of different iterations of fan art and ship art and fan theories and things that were just so beautiful and filled my heart with joy. And I just want to let those people know out there who supported us in that way, and supported us vocally despite and in the face of all of the vitriol that we received and the kind of the targeted attack, I would say, we received by the alt-right.
Alt-right. Oh my God. See, I was literally about to say, she's using all of the tag words that they use in all the articles that try to paint the fans as hateful. And she just said, all right, good Lord.
Just that you were deeply loved and appreciated, and it made this job all the worthwhile for me, and it made all of the challenging elements of it completely worthwhile for me.
Let me tell you something. See, I'm more like Mark Hamill when it comes to the Star Wars thing. I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about you can go force yourself. I'm talking about how, he was like with Ryan Johnson. I disagree fundamentally with how basically he said he disagreed fundamentally with how you want me to play this character. Like, what? Let me tell you something. They would have had to threaten to sue me into oblivion to get me to finish that part. Doing that to that character, like, Luke is one of the great heroes of all moviedom, of all entertainment. He's one of the greats, along with Vader being one of the great, if not the greatest villain of all time, right? Couldn't have got me to do it. What did the script say? Something else? Was there a totally different script before you got on? Because I understand that type of stuff does happen. Because, man, go look up that video that's supposed to be Mark Hamill after watching the movie. He looks livid, like teary-eyed, seething, furious, like, whoo!
And so that, plus my love of sci-fi and fantasy, and being able to be a part of the legacy of something that I so deeply value, and something that means so much to me and I've looked up to for so long. So I also just want to say thank you to Lucasfilm for
what?
Fucking awesome team. They were so wonderful to work with, and just everybody that I worked with in Lucasfilm, particularly Rain Roberts, my producer.
I'm wondering what this is going to do to their career. Because Bad Series or movies or parts sometimes can really mess up a person's career. Um, sometimes like sometimes even being typecast. Like you could be great at a specific part and it messes up your career. Like it's entertainment's strange like that. I want to see if she's going to be in anything else after this.
It's just had such like vision and hope and like such a mission for what we were going to continue bringing into the sci-fi universe and into the Star Wars universe. And it was a really beautiful, energizing, life-changing experience to be a part of. And I have to thank Leslie Headland, who just...
Maybe she really is in a bubble. I'm just thinking about it. She is in a bubble, like, because everything's been failing that they've been doing, that Disney's been doing. So it's kind of like, yeah, why would you sign on? You had to be in a bubble, doing something, and you got a script, you knew some people, and you know what I mean?
I just fucking love that bitch. She just... Excuse my French. She's just one of the best people in the world. I think she's so incredibly talented and unique and kind. And I'll love her forever. And I love this experience with her forever. But at the end of the day, I also just want to thank everybody who watched it. Thank you for being...
You're welcome.
Being so loving and supportive and excited and nerdy and awesome and I'll continue to process this for a long time, but maybe the last thing I want to say on the subject is that we all exist in the context of all in which we live.
Wait, what?
The world in which we live. We all exist in the context of the world in which we live.
I don't know what she's saying.
But I'm serious. It's not lost on me how the way that these events have unfolded is also due to the hyper-divisiveness of the time that we live in that is driven, I would say at this point, by echo chambers of thought and algorithms that reinforce our biases. And I think that applies to everybody. But I think that in a particular...
Yeah. There can be good echo chambers and bad echo chambers, though. And there's definitely... Just go to Twitter. There's plenty of echo chambers over there. You'll be able to see it. Where they spew the same hatred over and over again. But you can find positive echo chambers. You know what I mean? Also, you can find critical thinking echo chambers where people can speak rationally about things. And that's what the majority of the fandom, at least that I've seen on YouTube, is doing. They're speaking about it rationally. It's like if something's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. And we're going to tell you why. And that is it. Everyone has their biases. They're always going to have their biases. Everyone. No matter who you are, you're going to have a bias. Okay? Some people like beef more than chicken. Okay? So you go to someone's restaurant and they got beef on the menu and chicken, you're most likely going to order the beef. You're biased. Okay? It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You might try both, but you're inclined to try the beef first. That's how it is. Some people like great entertainment that sticks to the fundamentals of the characters like Mark Hamill does. And when you don't do that, you see what's happening. What the hell is the name of that game right now that is being destroyed? What's it called? Is it Commodore? What the hell? Condor? Anyway, they're saying this is like the biggest. They got like 50 players playing. Like 50 players playing. They just can't. They spend like $200 million on the game or something. This is one of those things where the fans came back, and normally I would say kicked you in the teeth. They kicked game developers in their pockets. People are so sick and tired of all this preachiness, all this virtue signaling. They're done, and they are showing up and not showing out. They are not shelling out that money. Okay? Watch. They better figure it out because all these companies are going to go under.
Perspective people, it manifests as a lot of fear for what is changing, and a lot of hatred for anything that is other.
Wow.
And I would challenge us all and challenge myself to continue questioning what it is that I did.
How young is she? She seems very young. Like, mentally, what I'm hearing is very young. I don't know. I just hear her parroting talking points that, like, I see in the comments from a lot of young viewers. It's like, and you can tell. You can tell. You know what I mean? It's
just and think critically about what shapes it. And
yes, please think critically. If you think critically, you'll start to fully understand the big picture.
Let's vote, y'all. Let's vote. Let's vote. I think that's all I have to say. Wow, this is 10 minutes long. Let's see if I post this. Bye.
You heard her. She said vote. Vote for me. Vote for me, Trump 2024. Post comments down below. Let me know what you think about this. I gave you my full thoughts. Do not bother the girl. Do not harass the girl. Do not spread any hate or meanness. Be a good person. 10 million subscribers. Woo!